Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I've been using the iPhone 12 Pro Max since the last 3 months, and these are my thoughts on the phone and whether you should get it right now. So let's get into it. The phone almost has everything similar to what the 11 series had and the 10s before that and the 10. But this year, it is a nice boxy design, which frankly I prefer. It has the same notch, which I'm not a big fan of, but once you start using it, it grows on you. On the sides, it's a stainless steel body and it is a fingerprint magnet. So if you're going to use this without a case, then you probably are going to get a lot of fingerprints. Apart from that, Apple has perfected its design through the years. On the back, we have the ceramic shield textured glass, but the camera part of it is still glossy and collects a lot of dust. Overall, I really like the design, and Apple has made good choices along its way with the 12 Pro Max. Now let's talk about the screen. The screen is a Super Retina XDR OLED display with a peak brightness of 1200 nits. It's a 6.7 inch 1284 into 2778 pixels at a 458 ppi density. So it gets pretty sharp. Now I know that there are some out there like the S21 Ultra which have got better 1440p displays with a 120Hz refresh rate, but this phone, and frankly I feel that iOS does not require a 120Hz display, but if it would have had one, it would have been really good. I have stacked this display against the S21 Ultra, OnePlus 8 Pro and other such devices which have a better OLED at 1440p, and I believe that right from the clarity of the display to the colors, it matches them everywhere and sometimes even better. Let's take a look at the performance now, and the best way to do it according to me is do a gaming test. First, let's play Call of Duty and then we will switch to Asphalt as well. Now, I will capture a little bit of gameplay at the end of the video. If you want to see the gameplay, do definitely stick around till the end. While the game loads up, let me throw some specs at you. The iPhone 12 Pro Max comes with the A14 Bionic, which is the fastest chipset out there, and with that, this phone is one of the fastest phones out there as well. With that, you get a 6GB of RAM. Depending upon the storage you choose, you will get a 6GB right from the 128GB available to 512GB available as well. This phone is really good in what it does. I have not faced any stutters or lags in my usage, and I think that with these specs, this phone should last you a couple of years without any lags or stutters. And in the description, I am linking a gaming comparison between the iPhone 12 Pro Max and the OnePlus 8 Pro. Do check that out if you are into that. The phone also has a 120Hz touch sampling rate, which makes it very responsive and fast. But leaving that aside, the chipset is also really good, and that is why this phone is extremely responsive. At the launch event of this phone, Apple was all about the cameras and they spent major time on that. And so much so that the lenses of these cameras are larger than any predecessor, which is also a really big thing. Talking about the specifications of the cameras, we are looking at a 12 megapixel wide camera with sensor shift stabilization, a 12 megapixel telephoto which zooms to an optical zoom of 2.5x and a maximum of 12x, a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera with a 120-degree field of view, and a LiDAR sensor which is basically for depth. It shoots at 4K 60 at max. It can do 10-bit HDR and Dolby Vision content, which is never seen in a smartphone. And on the front, it has a 12 megapixel wide sensor with the Face ID sensors also acting as depth sensors. And I have done a detailed comparison with this and the OnePlus 8 Pro and many other phones. So do check that out on my channel. Let's look at a few photos which I have clicked earlier, and these are some of the portraits which I took and the different modes of the iPhone. High key light mono, stage light mono, and stage light. It really gives a good pop to the entire picture. And not talking about a professional use, but someone who just likes to click pictures. This is a wide, and here you can see the amount of detail which it's picked up from the pot. And this one is an ultra wide, which gives you an understanding of how wide the 120-degree field of view is. Comparing it with the OnePlus 8 Pro, it has a 116-degree field of view. Let's talk about the batteries now. And upon my usage, the batteries have been excellent. I get around easily through the next day. And if you look at the numbers, a 3687 mAh battery with fast charging up to 20 watt, which is 50% in 30 minutes, which is really good. It also has key wireless charging at 15 watt and the newly introduced MagSafe charging as well. So it's all here. The only thing which it is missing and it should have had is wireless power share or wireless charging, which it does not. And finally, let's talk about the speakers because I consider that to be also important. So I'm going to keep quiet so that you can hear them. 100 pixels at a 515 ppi density. The iPhone, on the other hand, is a 1284 into 2778 pixels at a 458 ppi density. Now that's with the specs. For the eyes, both these displays are extremely sharp and can do colors extremely well. The only difference is that the iPhone is a little yellowish. The speakers are very good, very bass heavy, and get pretty loud. I think Apple has made a really good phone, and obviously, for this price point, you expect that. Overall, I will not get into the debate of an iOS versus Android, but I would say that this phone is worth it, and I'm daily driving it, and I can vouch for the entire and overall experience. So my final take would be that if you're going for this phone, definitely go for it. It is an excellent phone and there are no second thoughts about it. Now, here I am trying to show you how it can switch between two games. So we are looking at Asphalt as well as Call of Duty, and it is seamless. You can play two games one after the other without even worrying about it, and you can pick it up from where you left. And now, as I said earlier, let's go to the gameplay. Contact with enemy. Enemy down. Changing mag. Reloading. Cover me. Now. Reloading. Headshot. Reloading. Now. That's all from me. As usual, thanks for watching.